So that's the reason we just can't afford to forget the March 8th of International Women's Day, and also the person who was drafted and who fought for the rights of the Indian women by way of getting the Hindu Code Bill, that is Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar, April 14th. And today, after celebrating Baba Saheb Ambedkar's birthday yesterday, April 14th, today we are organizing on April 15th on the name of Stree Summit. So we, who believes in toto the Constitution, we wanted to real empowerment to the women of this country. Most particularly in Telangana, the Vikramarka People's Government, we strongly believe empowering the women of the state. Not only and politically, even economically also. The moment we came to power, we kept a target of empowering the Telangana women by organizing through the self-help groups, giving them or making the banks to lend the money to them with their interest-free loans to the tune of not less than 20,000 crores per annum. Fortunately, the target, generally, the target reaching is very difficult, but fortunately, we have crossed in the target of 20,000 crores and even surpassed more than 21,000 crores of interest-free loan to the Telangana women for the self-help groups for their economic empowerment of doing their business on the name of self-employment. Not only just by giving them the money, but we also created a market for them to do their business and make money out of which. Like, when we thought of going for serious after a renewable energy, new policy, energy policy, where we are thinking of getting a new, green power, we thought let us involve the Telangana women also in the process of getting green energy. So in the beginning, the energy department and the women department and other departments put together, we got into an MOU of nearing about 1,000 megawatts of power generating has been given to the self-help groups, particularly to the women members only, so that today the Telangana women is getting into the solar power manufacturing industries. This is first of its kind. Nowhere in the country, nowhere, no state is implementing this. This is first of its kind in Telangana. It's only a beginning. Once they become successful, in the sense, we are making them to start the business, we are making the bankers to give the money, and we are making the government to buy the power also. So there is no problem even for them, even after generating power, making money by selling it, and we are giving them buyback guarantee also. So it is an assurance for them, once we establish a solar power, that the government is readily willing to buy that power. With an MOU, we are encouraging the women. Once they become successful in this, we want to expand even more than 1,000 megawatts. Apart from that, the first of its kind, I think, in the country, we have brought out a scheme of free bus ride for Telangana women. They can travel from anywhere to anywhere without a ticket, and without buying a ticket. With this, we made the Telangana women to go around the state wherever they want to go. The kind of a mobility, a freedom for them to go around the state, the temples, market, hospitals, hostels, children's schools, wherever they want to go, they can go without having and thinking of, money to buy the ticket. So this is free bus ride has become a very, very successful for Telangana women. After going around, they are getting exposed to many of industrial parks and business, trade centers, educational institutions by which they are also trying to understand the society through which they wanted to start the business also. So it's one of its kind where we have started this. Apart from this, we also gone to the extent of buying buses and giving it to Telangana women. They are becoming owners of the buses now, and after buying the buses, we are getting into a tie-up with a RTC. So we are trying to give them the money through the banks, interest-free loans. They are buying the buses, giving the RTC, RTC is paying them the money. So the business also we are trying to provide to the maximum extent. And also we are trying to give them these Indira Shakti canteens. Where are the government institutions are there, collectorates are there, or secretariat, anywhere, wherever the government properties are there, all those areas we are giving to the women of Telangana so that they can do some business, make money, and they can economic independence so that they can think, live on their own and generate and with a secured kind of a thinking that they can lead their life. This is what we are trying to do in the state. And finally our target is to make not less than 1 crore of women of the state to make them the crorepati's. Many of the crore. So these are the schemes what we have been thinking. So the empowerment comes not only bringing out the laws and also by implementing the laws also, acts also. We have been seeing a number of acts which have been enacted in the parliament and the respective legislative house, like, prohibition of dowry, child marriages, many kind of these things, but still things are continuing. Until unless the whole society thinks about it and reforms themselves, convince themselves to implement these acts, the acts also cannot be get fructified and yields the results. That is where these kind of summits will definitely help to convince the people where all the things are going wrong, where all the governments are trying to reform them by bringing the acts. We also have to think about them and implement them and to see to that they are fully implemented and the woman becomes empowered. So I really appreciate the organizers for organizing these kind of summits and making the people to understand what all the governments are trying to do best to the women to become an independent economically, socially, and even I think the Indian governments like the Indian Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi and other chief ministers also brought some acts to providing a reservation for women in the local bodies so that they can participate, like 33% reservations in the local body elections. So these kinds of things, make the women to take part in the elections, administration, and governance, apart from economic empowerment. So now, the state of Telangana is fully committed for the empowerment of the women of the state, and we hope with the help of people like you who are all seriously committed for empowering the Indian women, more so particularly Telangana women, will definitely achieve our dreams and target of making 1 crore women of crorepati's and living them on their own feet and lead their life independently. I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity of sharing things with you all, and I wish you all the best. And I would like to convey my Chief Minister, Sri Revant Reddy Garu, who has personally asked me to convey the message to you all that this government is fully committed and will stand for the empowerment of the women of this state of Telangana. Come what may, any hurdles, we will stand for our commitment and goals to reach. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your informative speech, and I also thank you on behalf of all the women of Telangana for giving us so many opportunities on behalf of the government for empowering our society. Thank you very much, sir. ఇప్పుడు హైదరాబాద్ సిటీ పోలీస్ వారు అలాగే హెచ్సిఎస్సి వారు కలిసి మన హైదరాబాద్ సిటీని ఒక సేఫ్ అండ్ సెక్యూర్ సిటీగా మార్చాలని ఎన్నో ప్రయత్నాలు చేస్తున్నారు, ఎంతో విజయవంతంగా ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ నడిపిస్తున్నారు. It is now time to recognize some of the officers who have actively participated from SHE teams and Bharosa and who have strived their best in making all the endeavors possible. ఇప్పుడు నేను SHE teams నుంచి పేర్లు పిలుస్తాను. దయచేసి ఆఫీసర్స్ ని ఒక్కొక్కరిగా వేదికపైకి రావాల్సిందిగా కోరుతున్నాను. ఈ ఫెలిసిటేషన్ జరపవలసిందిగా ఈనాటి మన ముఖ్య అతిథి శ్రీ భట్టి విక్రమార్క గారిని కోరుతున్నాను. ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ సిపి సార్ అండ్ ఆల్సో సెక్రటరీ జనరల్ సార్ టు జాయిన్ us ఇన్ దిస్ ఫెలిసిటేషన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్. ముందుగా SIF పోలీస్ ఫ్రమ్ SHE టీమ్స్ చెన్నారెడ్డి సిద్ధారెడ్డి గారిని వేదికపైకి రావాల్సిందిగా ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాను. చెన్నారెడ్డి సిద్ధారెడ్డి గారు వేదికపైకి రావాలి. ఆ తర్వాత ఎస్ శంకర్ జయకిషన్ గారు కూడా వేదికపైకి రావాల్సిందిగా కోరుతున్నాము. వీరందరూ కూడా హైదరాబాద్ ని సేఫ్ అండ్ సెక్యూర్ సిటీగా మార్చడానికి ఎక్కువ ఏర్పాటు చేస్తున్న ఆఫీసర్స్ అండి. సిహెచ్ సుమప్రియ గారు కూడా వేదికపైకి రావాలి. స్త్రీ సమస్య పాయింట్లో ఈ ఆఫీసర్స్ అందరికీ కూడా తగిన రికగ్నిషన్ ఇస్తూ మెడల్తో అలాగే సర్టిఫికెట్ తోటి సత్కరించడం జరుగుతుంది. ఎస్ శంకర్ జయకిషన్ గారు SIF పోలీస్ వారు కూడా ఇప్పుడు సత్కారాన్ని అందుకుంటారు. సుమప్రియ గారు SIF పోలీస్. భరోసా సెంటర్ హైదరాబాద్ నుంచి ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ వి గౌరీ గారు కౌన్సిలర్ టు ప్లీజ్ జాయిన్ us on the dais. సి కంకణ గారు లీగల్ కౌన్సిలర్ అండ్ KM రాధారాణి గారు క్లినికల్ సైకాలజిస్ట్. కంకణ గారు వేదికపైకి రావాలి. KM రాధారాణి గారు. భరోసాలో వర్క్ చేస్తున్న పోలీస్ స్టాఫ్ కూడా మనం సత్కరించుకున్నాము. ఎం సదాలక్ష్మి గారు వేదికపైకి రావాల్సిందిగా కోరుతున్నాము. అలాగే ఎం అనుష గారు SIF పోలీస్. ఎం అనుష గారు కూడా వేదికపైకి రావాలండి. అలాగే సేఫ్ నేబర్హుడ్ అవార్డ్స్ ని మనం అందిస్తున్నాము. ఉమెన్ అండ్ చైల్డ్ అట్రాసిటీస్ లో ఎన్నో కేసెస్ సాల్వ్ చేసి వారు సేఫ్ నేబర్హుడ్ ని మన హైదరాబాద్ లో క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నారు. ముందుగా సెంట్రల్ జైల్లో గాంధీనగర్ నుంచి PS సెక్రటేరియట్ వారిని వేదికపైకి రావాల్సింది కోరుతున్నాము. సెక్రటేరియట్ వారిని. ఆ తర్వాత ఈస్ట్ జోన్ లో సుల్తాన్ బజార్ డివిజన్ నుంచి అఫ్జల్గంజ్ PS. సుల్తాన్ బజార్ డివిజన్ నుంచి అఫ్జల్గంజ్ PS లో ఎన్ రవి గారి వేదికపైకి రావాలి. డాక్టర్స్ ఆరోగ్య హోమ్స్ నుంచి శ్రీనాథ్ గారిని వేదికగా కోరుతున్నాము, అవార్డు అందుకోవాల్సిందిగా కోరుతున్నాము. క్వాంటా కార్డ్స్ కోటర్నా నుంచి కెన్ సంబడి రిప్రజెంట్ క్వాంటా కార్డ్స్ ప్లీజ్ ఆన్ ది డాయస్. తర్వాత నిఖిల కన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ అండ్ డెవలపర్స్ నుంచి సంబడి కమ్ ఆన్ ది డాయస్ అండ్ రిప్రజెంట్ ది ఆర్గనైజేషన్. అలాగే we request somebody from Prosperity Developers also to please come on to the dais and receive the award. Prosperity నుంచి ఎవరైనా ఉన్నారండి? Can we have somebody from Prosperity next? Thank you very much, sir. I will continue with the awards, కానీ మన ముఖ్య అతిథి ఇప్పుడే ప్రయర్ కమిట్మెంట్స్ వల్ల వారు బయలుదేరుతున్నారు కాబట్టి మనస్ఫూర్తిగా వారు మా ఈ స్త్రీ సమిట్ 2.0కి విచ్చేసి ఈ కార్యక్రమం ఇనాగ్రల్ ని విజయవంతం చేసినందుకు వారికి ధన్యవాదాలు తెలియజేస్తూ, సార్ యువర్ presence added a lot of value to this program and we are very happy and honored and privileged to have you here today. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. But before that, we have a very special guest with us today. It is now my pleasure to introduce a truly remarkable young achiever, a name that resonates with excellence, discipline and inspiration. Ms. Neha Jaiswal is a celebrated international table tennis player who has represented India with distinction at numerous national and international championships. But what makes her truly exceptional is that she is also a child prodigy. Having started her PhD at the age of just 17, earning her the distinction of being the youngest PhD holder in Asia. Beyond the arena of sports and academia, she is a motivational speaker and an influencer, touching countless lives with her journey of hard work, humility and high achievement. A powerful example of what young women can accomplish when empowered, Ms. Neha Jaiswal embodies the spirit of this summit. Please join me in warmly welcoming our special guest, Ms. Neha Jaiswal, to share her thoughts with us today.
Warm good morning to one and all. ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసిన పెద్దలందరికీ, ఆఫీసర్స్కి, మహిళా శక్తి అందరికీ అండ్ ప్రెస్కి, మీడియాకి అందరికీ పేరు పేరున నమస్కరిస్తున్నాను. Really glad to be here today on this at the Stree Summit, which is being organized by the HCSC and Hyderabad City Police. So if you want success, you need to be positive. So the best source of positivity is nothing but providing safety and security to the women. So on this special occasion, I congratulate the entire team of Hyderabad City Security Council and as well as Hyderabad City Police. So once there should be a great round of applause. సో ఈరోజు నేను మీ అందరికీ చెప్పేది ఏంటంటే, పవిత్రమైన ఆలోచనలు చేసే పనులు జీవితాంతం సుఖప్రదానం చేస్తాయి. సో అటువంటి మంచి ఆలోచనతో ప్రారంభమైన ఈ కార్యక్రమం ప్రతి ఒక్క మహిళకి డ్రీమ్ ప్లస్ వర్క్ ఈక్వల్స్ టు సక్సెస్ అనే సిద్ధాంతానికి నిలువెత్తిన నిదర్శనంగా మారి ఒక నూతన సంస్కృతికి శ్రీకారం చుట్టింది. As we all are talking about and expressing about the women empowerment, so మా నాన్న చెప్తూ ఉంటారనమాట, ఆడపిల్లలు అంటే మా ఇంట్లో తులసి మొక్క, కడుపులో పుట్టిన మరో అమ్మ. మరియు ఆడపిల్లలు అంటే కల్మషం లేని ప్రేమకు చిరునామా. సో ప్రతి ఇంట్లో మహిళలు మరియు ఆడపిల్లలు ఉన్న ప్రతి ఇల్లు కూడా దేవతలు నివాసించే కోవెల. అందుకే చెప్తాను, అమావాస్య చీకటిలో నిండు చందమామని వెతికి పట్టుకోగలమేమో, కానీ ఆడబిడ్డ ప్రేమలో మచ్చని మాత్రం వెతికి పట్టుకోలేము. సో మన భారతదేశ చరిత్రలో మహిళలు ఇంకా ఆడపిల్లలు తలుచుకుంటే అన్నీ సాధ్యమే. ఎందుకంటే స్వయాన్న భారత మాత తలరాతను మార్చిన విధాత ఝాన్సీ లక్ష్మీబాయి, రాణి రుద్రమ్మదేవి మరియు సరోజిని నాయుడు లాంటి మేధావులు, యోధులు పుట్టిన భూమి మన భారతదేశం. సో ఇటువంటి పుణ్యభూమిలో పుట్టిన తర్వాత చరిత్ర తిరగరాయడము మన ధర్మం అని నేను చెప్పగలను. సో అదేవిధంగా మనము మన మైథాలజీలో చూస్తే కూడా సింహవాహినిగా దుర్గామాత, హంసవాహినిగా సరస్వతీదేవి, గుడ్లగుబ్బ వాహినిగా లక్ష్మీదేవి సంపూర్ణ శక్తివంతులై దుష్ట శిక్షణ, శిష్ట రక్షణ చేస్తూ ఈ లోకాన్ని కాపాడుతున్నారు. సో ఆ దేవతలను పూజించడమే కాదు, స్త్రీ జాతిని గౌరవించడం మన బాధ్యత. సో మన హైదరాబాద్ సిటీ సెక్యూరిటీ కౌన్సిల్ అండ్ హైదరాబాద్ పోలీస్ చెప్పేది ఒకటే, మీరందరూ అమ్మని పూజించాలి, భార్యని ప్రేమించాలి, సోదరిని దీవించాలి, కానీ అన్నిటికంటే ముఖ్యం స్త్రీని గౌరవించాలి అని నేను చెప్పగలను. అండ్ అదేవిధంగా జీవితం అనేది ఉప్పొంగి జలపాతం, గుండెల్లో చెలగాటం ఆడడం సహజం. అలాంటి సమయంలో ఆడశక్తి తోడు నీడ ఉంటూ ఆశని లక్ష్యం చేరే అస్త్రం మరియు ఆయు పెంచే అమృతం, ఆశ వెంట ఆచరణ ఉంటే అద్భుతాలు చేయొచ్చు అని మనకు ప్రేరణ ఇస్తుంది. సో అందుకే మనం ఆడవారిని ఆది శక్తి అని చెప్తాము. అండ్ ఐ ఆల్వేస్ సే దట్ మహిళలు అంటే ఆది శక్తి. సో ఆది శక్తిని పువ్వుతో పోల్చకు, వాడిపోతుంది, మంచుతో పోల్చకు, కరిగిపోతుంది, ఆకుతో పోల్చకు, రాలిపోతుంది, కానీ సగౌరవంగా ఇష్టపడి చిరునవ్వుతో పోల్చు, శాశ్వతంగా ఉండిపోతుంది. అదేవిధంగా వెలుగు లేని వెన్నెల ఎలా, దేవుడు లేని కోవెల ఎలా, ప్రాణం లేని జీవము ఎలా, స్త్రీ శక్తి లేని ఈ సమాజం ఎలా అని నేను పదే పదే ప్రశ్నిస్తున్నాను. అయితే మా నాన్న నన్ను కఠోర శ్రమ, ముందు చూపు, ఖచ్చితత్వం మరియు ధైర్యం ఉంటే అతి భయంకరమైన ఒంటరి ప్రయాణం సరదాగా సాగుతుంది మరియు అద్భుతాలు సృష్టించవచ్చు అనేసి మా పేరెంట్స్ నాకు చెప్పారు. సో ఈ రోజు చాలా మంది ఎమినెంట్ పర్సనాలిటీస్ ఇక్కడ ఉన్నారు. సో నేను చెప్పేది ఏంటంటే, నేను మాత్రం బాగుండాలి అనుకోవడం స్వార్థం, నేను కూడా బాగుండాలి అనుకోవడం సహజం, కానీ నేను బాగుపడాలి, నా వల్ల 10 మంది బాగుపడాలి అనేది అద్భుతం. సో అటువంటి అద్భుతమైన ఆఫీసర్ మన సివి అనంత్ గారు అని నేను చెప్పగలను. అండ్ అదేవిధంగా సార్ ఇస్ ఆల్వేస్ అన్ ఇన్స్పిరేషన్, ఎందుకంటే ఈజ్ ద బెస్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఆఫ్ బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ స్పోర్ట్స్ విత్ ద ప్రొఫెషన్ అన్నమాట. సో ఈజ్ అన్ ఇన్స్పిరేషన్ టు ఆల్ ఆఫ్ అస్. అండ్ అదే కాకుండా నేను, నా అనే పదాలకు అడ్రస్ లేకుండా చేసి మనం, మనోళ్ళు, మనవాళ్ళు అనే ఉత్తమ భావానికి స్వాస్తి పలికిన శేఖర్ రెడ్డి గారు మనందరి నడుమ తోడు నీడగా ఉంటూ అందరినీ ప్రోత్సహిస్తున్నారు. సో ఆయనకు కూడా నేను అభినందనలు తెలుపుతున్నాను. అండ్ లాస్ట్ బట్ నాట్ లీస్ట్, మనందరికీ తెలిసిందే, ప్రతి మొక్కకు నీరు కావాలి, ప్రతి మనసుకి ప్రేమ కావాలి, ప్రతి మనిషికి నేస్తం కావాలి, అదే విధంగా ప్రతి మనిషికి రక్షణ కావాలి. సో అటువంటి రక్షణ కల్పిస్తున్న హైదరాబాద్ సిటీ పోలీస్ కి కూడా నేను పేరు పేరున ధన్యవాదాలు తెలుపుతున్నాను. And as a girl child, as a woman, I would definitely say that to each and every woman who is here, that you explain yourself not to give up to any emotional weaknesses in the face of crisis. Instead, face the challenges with courage, because the right course is to face the difficulties of life with guts, manliness and proper understanding of the situation, because there is no scope for the mental or emotional weaknesses in the battle of life. So finally, अगर मैं हिंदी में बोलूं तो ये कह सकती हूँ कि औरतों से कीमती कोई जागीर नहीं होती, औरतों से खूबसूरत कोई तस्वीर नहीं होती, औरतें यूं ही एक अच्छा धागा है, पर इस धागे से मजबूत कोई जंजीर नहीं होती. సో ఫైనలీ మీరందరూ కూడా ఈరోజు ఈ కార్యక్రమాన్ని అంగరంగ వైభవంగా ఆలపిస్తూ ఇక్కడున్న పెద్దలందరూ కూడా మీ చిరునవ్వులతో నన్ను ఆశీర్వాదిస్తున్నారని భావిస్తూ మీరందరూ బాగుండాలి, అందులో నేను ఉండాలి అని కోరుకుంటూ ఈ రోజు నాకు ఇక్కడికి ఇన్వైట్ చేసిన హైదరాబాద్ సిటీ సెక్యూరిటీ కౌన్సిల్ కి, శేఖర్ రెడ్డి గారికి మరియు లావణ్య గారికి అందరికీ కూడా ధన్యవాదాలు తెలుపుతూ నేను సెలవు తీసుకుంటున్నాను. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. జై హింద్.
ఇంత అందంగా తెలుగులో, ఇంగ్లీష్లో, హిందీలో అనర్గళంగా క్లారిటీ ఆఫ్ థాట్ తోటి మాట్లాడిన ఈ బంగారు తల్లికి ఒకసారి గట్టిగా చప్పట్లు కొట్టండి. ఎంత చక్కగా తను ఏం చెప్పాలనుకున్నా ఎంత బాగా చెప్పారు. నేను రియలీ ఇన్స్పైరింగ్ అండ్ యూఆర్ ద ట్రూ మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ విమెన్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్, ఎంబాడిమెంట్ ఆఫ్ విమెన్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. ఇప్పుడు నైనా జైస్వాల్ గారికి ఒక చిరు సత్కారం. ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ సిపి సీనియానంద్ గారు టు ప్లీజ్ ఫెలిసిటేట్ నైనా జైస్వాల్ గారు విత్ ఎ మొమెంటో అండ్ ఎ బుకే. విత్ ఎ మొమెంటో. Thank you for joining us, Naina, and speaking so wonderfully. You have inspired me too as a fellow woman. Thank you very much. Before we hear our keynote speaker, there are a few more awards that are pending because Deputy CM sir just left. I request Vikramarka sir to please give away those awards to the officers who have committed themselves to the safety of our neighborhoods. I request from South East Zone, Chandrayangutta PS, Chandrayangutta Division, Kanchanbad PS, G. Shekhar Reddy garu to please come onto the dais and receive the award. From South West Zone, Golconda Division and Langar House PS, K. Raghukumar గారిని వేదికపైకి రావాల్సిందిగా ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాము. మీ అందరి చప్పట్లతోటి ఈ ఆఫీసర్స్ అందరినీ కూడా అభినందించాలి. వారు లేకపోతే మనకి సేఫ్టీ, సెక్యూరిటీ, భరోసా ఏమీ లేదు కాబట్టి. వెస్ట్ జోన్ నుంచి బంజారా హిల్స్ డివిజన్ మాసా పాయింట్ నుంచి సిహెచ్ పరశురామ్ గారిని వేదికపైకి రావాల్సిందిగా ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాము. మీ అందరి కరతాళ ధ్వనులతోటి. మీరందరూ కలిసి మొత్తంగా 142 కేసెస్ ని సాల్వ్ చేశారు. మీరందరికీ గట్టిగా చప్పట్లు కొట్టి మీ అభినందనలు తెలియజేయండి. ఇప్పుడు కొంతమంది NGOs ఉన్నారు మనతోటి. దే హ్యావ్ వర్క్డ్ యాక్టివ్లీ విత్ హైదరాబాద్ సిటీ సెక్యూరిటీ కౌన్సిల్. వారిని కూడా మనం సత్కరించుకున్నాము విత్ యువర్ పర్మిషన్ సార్. ఐ నౌ రిక్వెస్ట్ ప్రజ్వల నుంచి సునీత కృష్ణన్ గారిని వేదికపైకి రావాల్సిందిగా ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాము. ది కంప్లీట్ టీమ్ ఆఫ్ ప్రజ్వల వస్తున్నారు వేదికపైకి. వారిని రావాల్సిందిగా ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాము. NGOs అంటే వీరు ఇందాక చెప్పాను కదా, కాళోజీ నారాయణరావు గారు అంటారు, నేను ఇంకా నా నుంచి మా వరకే రాలేదు, మన అనుకున్నప్పుడు కదా ముందడు. కానీ వీరు నా అనుకోలేదు, మా అనుకోలేదు, మన అనుకున్నారు, అనుకుని ముందుకు తీసుకెళ్తున్నారు. సెల్ఫ్లెస్ గా సర్వీస్ చేస్తున్నారు. తర్వాత మనో జాగృతి నుంచి గీతా చెల్లా గారిని వేదికపైకి రావాల్సిందిగా ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాము. మన రోజువారీ జీవితంలో మన ఉద్యోగములు చేసి, మన వంటలను చేసుకుని, మన భోజనములను చేసి పడుకుంటేనే గొప్ప అనుకునే రోజుల్లో వీరు సమాజం కోసం ఎంత కృషి చేస్తున్నారు. తర్వాత యశోదా ఫౌండేషన్ నుంచి నవీన్ బి గారు వారిని వేదికపైకి రావాల్సిందిగా ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాము. వీ రిక్వెస్ట్ యశోదా ఫౌండేషన్ నవీన్ జీ టు ప్లీజ్ కమ్ ఆన్ టు ద డైస్. విషిస్ ఫౌండేషన్ నుంచి రిషిక గారిని వేదికపైకి రావాల్సిందిగా ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాము. అలాగే మై చాయిసెస్ నుంచి ఫర్జానా గారు రిక్వెస్ట్ టు ప్లీజ్ కమ్ ఆన్ టు ద డైస్. శ్రీ గారు అన్నట్టు కొంతమంది యువకులు, ముందు తరం దూతలు, భావన నవజీవన బృందావన నిర్మాతలు, వారికే మా సలాం అంటారు. వారందరూ వీరే. ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ ఫర్జానా జీ ఫ్రమ్ మై చాయిసెస్ టు ప్లీజ్ come on to the dais and receive a small token of appreciation from Hyderabad City Security Council and also Hyderabad City Police. Thank you sir. It is now time to hear a keynote address. Thank you for joining us on the dais. Calm for you తరఫు నుంచి కూడా ఎవరైనా ఉన్నారండి? Calm for you. Yes, please ma'am, can we have you on the dais? Sorry, I missed out your name. Please join us on the dais. అంటే మీకోసమే పని చేస్తాము అని చెప్తున్నారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. ఇప్పుడు నిజంగా అవార్డ్స్ అయిపోయినాయి. థ్యాంక్ యూ. సారీ సార్. స్పాన్సర్స్ తరఫున ఇందాక పోకర్ణ నుంచి కెన్ యూ హ్యావ్ క్వాంటర్పార్ట్స్ బై పోకర్ణ నుంచి డూ యూ హ్యావ్ సంబడి? ప్రాస్పెరిటీ హోమ్స్ కెన్ యూ హ్యావ్ కెన్ యూ ప్లీజ్ కమ్ నౌ? ప్రాస్పెరిటీ హోమ్స్ అలాగే క్వాంటర్పార్ట్స్ బై పోకర్ణ నుంచి ఎవరైనా ఉన్నారండి? నిఖిలా కన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ అండ్ డెవలపర్స్ నుంచి ఎవరైనా ఉన్నారా స్పాన్సర్స్ వారి తరఫున? Can we have somebody from Proarch please on the dais? Thank you very much. Now it is time for our keynote address. We have a very distinguished legal expert, policy advisor and defense strategist with us today. Dr. Bhatti currently serves as a senior specialist in law at NITI Aayog, bringing with her over 22 years of legal practice, including as an advocate on record with the Supreme Court of India. Her academic and professional journey spans international legal studies at the prestigious Hague Academy and specialized research in the techno-legal domain. She is a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators UK and serves on multiple ethics and arbitration committees across legal, medical and technology sectors. At NITI Aayog, she has played a key role in establishing the law division, offering strategic legal guidance on multidisciplinary reforms under the vision of a Vikasit Bharat. It is our privilege to invite Dr. Bhatti to share her insights and set the tone for the day with the keynote address. We welcome you, ma'am, with a huge round of applause.
Namaskar. The summit that has been organized by this distinguished organization really needs a wonderful applause before I even start my speech. I thought this organization has actually kept the fireside chat towards the end of the program, but I saw that all the speakers already have started the fire in the meeting, right? So let me continue with that. So there are two disclaimers I have to give. One is that my position may not be NITI Aayog's position, and definitely I will try to do my level best to bring as a keynote speaker the entire gist of the event today, including the topic, the themes and the data that will actually take you forward in proceeding with the accelerating efforts that can be taken sector agnostically, state agnostically. Okay. We say समरस जीवन से टूटेगी देव बाल की कारा, इससे ही एकात्म हुआ है सारा राष्ट्र हमारा. Okay, I have divided the theme into 6 portions, which is NITI's initiatives to begin with, and these are the UN things which has been already given towards empowerment of women. That will be freedom from poverty, zero violence, peace and security, decision-making power, and climate justice. Let me try to do justice for all the topics. So, first we will cover the Niti Ayog's efforts. We have specifically a Women and Child Development Unit or vertical or division which we call a Niti Ayog, specifically we have, which has launched the Women Entrepreneurship Program in 2017, which has a slogan, Women First means prosperity for all. It aids support into 3 pillars, which is Icha Shakti for aspiring women, Gyan Shakti for spreading knowledge, and Karma Shakti for promoting action and activists. Niti Ayog also monitors the general indicators as part of its developmental goal 5, which is SDG 5, gender equality, women's labor force participation, education levels, and representation in decision making. We also assess the National Health Stack and Digital Health Blueprint, which aims to improve access to digital health and services and encourages gender-sensitive data collection and healthcare. So brings out the School Education Quality Index, which looks at the performance of states and UTs, including female literacy and girls enrollment, and it also worked with Ministry of Finance to mainstream the gender-sensitive budgeting. We have Atal Innovation Mission, which has actually been successful in encouraging innovation and entrepreneurship among women and college girls with Atal Tinkering Lab and engagement of girls in STEM, which is science, technology, engineering and maths. We have aspirational district programs as well as the block programs which have been launched. Along with this initiative development of innovative and creative enterprises, NITI has also specially focused on women-led startups. We work with Ministry of Women for Poshan Abhiyan, and the legal networking as well as the law division has also enabled equitable manner working without any exclusion unless there is a scientific basis to do so. Let us start with the first thing, which is freedom from poverty. Niti Ayog itself conducted a multi-dimensional poverty index which said that the head count of women who fall under the multi-dimensional poverty amounts to 38.45%. So definitely, if you want them to be removed from poverty, we have to enhance education and skill, we have to close the gender pay gap, and we have to support them with access to finance, markets, as well as digital tools. So yes, education, skill building and gender budgeting is one of them. Only thing what we have to do to accelerate this to set interim, short-term as well as long-term goals so that we can progress based on these goals and try to achieve what we have in our mind. Okay. So this is a very gist of the working conditions what we have all over our nation. 24 acts with laws limit women's participation in various kinds of factory operations. 2 laws primarily govern our sectors, which is the Factories Act 1948 at the union level and the Shops and Commercial Establishments Act at the state level. But no state has eased the restrictions on women's employment in dangerous jobs. What they say dangerous may not have any scientific basis. That is what I am going to adduce by using certain examples. Among these 11 states bar women employment at night altogether, and the 10 most populous states, they impose 139 to 140 prohibitions on of women working in specific industrial processes, which is generation of petroleum, electroplating, pesticides, rechargeable batteries, processing of oils and fats. Unfortunately, even candle making falls into this prohibition. I mean, they can work in BD factory, they can work in other factories, matchmaking factories, but they cannot work in candle making factories. So if you look at the inherent meanings and interpretation what comes out of this restrictions, it may not be logical at all. Women in Uttar Pradesh can serve and sell foreign liquor but not country liquor. On the other hand, women in Andhra Pradesh can serve country liquor but not foreign liquor. It doesn't have any basis whatsoever what you are calling. The women who can be engaged in abrasive blasting is for cleaning surfaces in Karnataka but not in Maharashtra. So if you look at these state-wise frameworks which are regulating the women's educational as well as the employment conditions, there is a lot of discrepancy which we want to we have taken under NET, we have taken an initiative to avoid that. So next is zero violence. We all know this organization is also specifically working in stopping zero violence, in also giving a zero tolerance to any violence. And if you look at it, the ratio as well as the percentage and the reportings are going up and up. The world may look at it one way, we may also say that the reportings are increased because due to increased awareness, because more and more women folk are reporting them, more and more are getting addressed, therefore more and more data is getting recorded, data getting generated, therefore we see more numbers. Whatever said and done, we have the data now which speaks that the numbers are going up. So we may have to take our own ways and efforts if we want to accelerate women empowerment, to strengthen legal rights and protection, tackle gender stereotypes and cultural norms. The good touch, bad touch is only the tail. We cannot wag the dog by using the tail. So there are many issues when it comes to gender stereotypes, and everybody who has come here. I see not only the Shakti Swarupini delegates who are sitting here, but also those men folk who have come here to give voice, their full support for them. So this is the microcosm of this nation which is sitting here, which can make it happen. So when you want to ensure access to justice and legal support, and you want to buttress the justice delivery infrastructure, Honorable Home Minister Amit Shah actually was talking when he was inaugurating the National Forensic Laboratories and colleges and universities in New Delhi just 2 days back. He said that we are going to increase the number of the universities which will deal with forensic examination multifold, and we will also now we have the law which says that if it is going to be punishable more than 7 years, then probably the forensic examination will be mandatory and the team will visit the spot as SAP. So these are the things what we look at, and the e-courts and the mechanisms, the Nari Adalats, what we call the specialized courts, or we also talk about POSCO courts. So these are areas where we have to strengthen not only the judges' strength, the infrastructure, but also the awareness among the people and the process itself. Okay, though these are the university, issues, we also have a ministry for women and child development, which is also coming up with Mission Shakti, which has 3 components: Sambal, Samarthya and Nirbhaya. Nirbhaya deals with justice system, Samarthya deals with Shakti Sadhans and working women hostels, crutches and empowerment of women at the district level hubs. And Sambal is one-stop centers for women helplines, Nari Adalats, Beti Bachao. So in these schemes, if you look at 2 failure stories, Niti Aayog itself conducted a study which showed that the Mahila police volunteers are dropped due to institutional mechanism being weakened and implementation and delivery is not being good. Therefore, this has been dropped. And Mahila Shakti Kendra has also been subsumed. So these are the areas where we have to strengthen ourselves. Next topic is peace and security for women. Peace and security, when we could talk security in the literal sense, we have to look at the defense forces of our country. About only 12 to 13,000 of our women folk are part of our defense forces in our country. Air Force having 13%, maybe 6% in Army, only below 4%. So with the permanent commissioning being awarded to them, we can see a rise in these numbers, but it's a long way to go where we can see an optimal percentage of women being part of our defense forces. So you have to promote women in peace building also. We have to address their mental health and gender specific health care needs and health and reproductive rights, which are happening at all levels starting from district to national level. But there is also a coherent effort which is required for that purpose, because 84% of our women perceive that there is at least one barrier for them not to access good hospital care. 50% only have access to public healthcare systems, and rest 37% private, and all others don't have any access at all. So therefore, with the deficiencies in the healthcare, we have to address them properly. When we look at even the entrepreneurship in our country, where there is a decision-making power, we have initiatives which have Startup India, which are Stand Up India, which are Make in India, but the entrepreneurships in our country are related only to agri, micro, small, as well as other enterprises. But we want them to grow. If we have to go there, we have to promote women in startup and innovation, implement the quotas and policies, because if you implement quotas and policies, we see that Panchayati Raj has 1.4 million women, that is 33 to 50% of the women being present as representatives. But when it comes to parliament as a percentage, 14%, and Rajya Sabha has only 12% of women representatives. State assemblies even have 0 women. So 0 to 14%. So with this Nari Shakti Vandana Adhiniyam 2023, we can see that there in 2047 or when it is going to be effective, we will have more than 180 female members, representatives, member of parliaments in Lok Sabha. Also, there are corporate mechanisms which are actually making it compulsory for women director to be put in place. Next comes the digital revolution. More and more traditional we think digital is going to be at a distance, but it is not so. Digital revolution is at every doorstep, and we see a massive gender divide in India. Can I have water, please? So, internet, digital platforms, mobile phones, and digital finance services. 4 components are the primary study objects for any of the surveys that is conducted in our country. Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan and National Digital Laboratory and other initiatives of Ministry of Education have helped a lot, but it is a long way to go, and I see that the organization at CSC is also bringing out a lot of awareness programs on the digital side for women, which has to be encouraged and which can be built even at a singular level independently and individually by all of us, so that we can take this forward as a national service. Next comes a climate justice. Many of them ask why climate justice is relevant for women empowerment. We see that the small level farmers are mostly women who have minuscule areas for agriculture and they make their own produce. They have very limited marketplace, but when there is a climate calamity, when there is a natural disaster, they are the ones mostly getting affected. So if we want fair treatment of all people in addressing climate change and ensuring the most vulnerable, particularly women, they are not to be disproportionately affected, then we have to be very careful while we make our environmental policies. Net zero and climate adaptation and resilience methods should be part of the self-help group efforts which are being promoted by our government, and climate smart and sustainable ventures should be the way occasional trainings are undertaken for our women folk, so that they can relearn, they can uplearn, they can upgrade themselves and find ways to be sustainable and get climate justice in their own way. Naturally, when the economic survey of this country, it has shown a positive picture. It shows that the rural India is driving the trend where women are getting more developed. The female participation ratio is also improving to 37% from 23%, and the self-help groups are growing in massive numbers. So entrepreneurs who are getting Mudra loan are also improving a lot, 77% under the Stand Up India or women. 53% of PM Disha are also beneficiaries of women. That means that we are improving, our country is going way forward. And let us look at Hyderabad itself when comparison to Bharat. So when it comes, you are shining star. I should say you are a package of best practices in our country. Hyderabad has promoted education. It has ensured economic opportunities like the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister already spoke of. We are strengthening legal rights, police and civilian community interaction is massive, which I see, this is an example, this organization is a very example. Increasing political participation for women is on the rise. Investment in healthcare is improving, as well as the public
care, healthcare delivery systems, the quality is bringing surprising results. Addressing the violence and discrimination is also happening in an effective manner in Telangana. So definitely, like Naina, you are all the stars, you are going to come up, you are going to be the examples for this nation. So that makes you actually to be more and more conscious so that you don't slip, you don't actually go back on your efforts. You must keep it up and bring about the best practices for other states to emulate and deliver what we are dreaming of now, which is Shaksharata and Shakshanta for Mahila. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable address. That was very informative and the presentation was also very crisp and clear. Thank you so much for joining us today. I now request CP sir and also Shekhar Reddy sir to please join in felicitating our keynote speaker for today, Dr. Banushree ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. You are an inspiration to every woman who is present here in this hall today, including me. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. I now request the Joint Secretary for Women's Forum HCSC, Srimati Geeta Goti Garu, to please convey the vote of thanks.
Good morning, all. It's an august occasion for me to present HCSC with this 3 Summit 2.0. What we have done in 1.0 was talk a lot about the mental health just after COVID, and this time we got an opportunity to talk about the empowerment. This day is packed with a lot of good sessions, and I hope all of you would be there for the entire day. At the first, I have to go in front. Okay, sorry. So it's a pleasure to thank everybody who is here today. First of all, the person who has been inspiring us all through, our chairman, HCSC, Shri C.V. Anand Garu. Thank you, sir. You have given us a path to walk on. My sincere thanks to our Secretary General, Sri Shekhar Reddy Garu, who has always been in the forefront and guided us. My thanks to our convener, Women Forum, Srimati Lavanya NJP Garu, DCP, Women Safety Wing, and also today's guests who have been gracing the occasion on the dais, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Mallu Bhatti Vikramarka Garu, and first time I have heard somebody from Niti Aayog. It's a pleasure, ma'am, to host you here, Dr. Banushree Garu, and our youngster, an inspiration to us, Naina Jaiswal Garu, and of course the audience here. This wouldn't have been happening if it was not for the kind-hearted souls of Hyderabad, our sponsors, Alekia Homes. Sir, thank you for making this happen, and Nickel Constructions and Prosperity, and of course Quartz Quantra, who have made us believe that we can walk more confidently with their support. I thank this hotel, I thank the media who are here at a short notice. Thank you all, and I hope this day will be eventful for everybody. Thank you once again. We are going to have a tea break, and in 10 minutes we want you to come back. 11:40 we will be back. Thank you.
Tea break, we have serving tea over that side. You can see on the left side of the stage. You can go that side and have your tea and come back. ఇప్పటిదాకా వీణుల విందుగా సాగిన కార్యక్రమం ఇప్పుడు తేనేటి విందును కూడా తీసుకుని మళ్ళీ లోపలికి విచ్చేస్తే మీరందరూ కూడా తర్వాతి కార్యక్రమంలోకి మనం వెళ్ళిపోదాం. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
biryani and Irani chai, and a city of growing.
Also, there are food coupons given to you, so you can use those food coupons to avail the food and also the drinks. Please don't throw them away. They're very important for you to have your lunch and also tea breaks. Kindly take care of your food coupons.
All the attractions, diversity, economy comes a kettle of vultures. These vultures look for loopholes in your security and grab the first opportunity they get. The answer to all your questions is HCSC, launched by the Hyderabad City Police.
Hyderabad City Security Council works in collaboration with various establishments, government organizations and all other stakeholders. The idea is to foster a strength of better safety and security among all the citizens. The HCSC works on the model of a public-private partnership, wherein there are 6 important functional verticals which are active right now. That is the cyber security, the women and child, the traffic forum, the anti-narcotics forum, physical security and the CSR forum.
Hyderabad City Security Council has another forum which is Women Forum. We work with women and children. The flagship program which we started with the communities, showing that the safe and security needs are at the community level. We are also working with children, mainly with the schools. We have done sessions on good touch, bad touch.
HCSC is also dedicated in making Hyderabad roads safe and secure for its citizens.
Traffic is an everyday issue which affects each and every citizens of Hyderabad city. It affects our economy, environment and even quality of our life. Government is doing a lot to improve the traffic situations of Hyderabad city, but government cannot be a solution for all the traffic issues. I appeal to all citizens, we all have a role to play in improving in the traffic management of Hyderabad city. HCSC is a beautiful platform where we can collaborate together and improve the situation.
Citizens can choose a traffic junction, register themselves and contribute assisting the traffic police. They can click all traffic violations through their mobile or a camera and share it with Hyderabad Traffic Police through WhatsApp. All appropriate ones will be sent traffic challenge by the traffic police.
As part of traffic forum, we will be organizing week off involving the school children, traffic pariste, bringing awareness into the general public, and apart from that we will be doing many of traffic safety events to bring the more of awareness into the public, and we request all the people across Hyderabad be a part of this initiative. Let's bring the change more of for a organized and regulated traffic across the city.
With the auto and cab drivers sensitization program, HCSC visits various junctions and public places in the city and conducts car bus drivers and two-wheeler riders sensitization programs for the drivers employed by the respective organizations. From securing the roads to securing the web world, HCSC does it all.
HCSC is committed to improve cybersecurity posture and reduce